A newborn baby girl, just a few hours old, found in the backyard of a Sydney home. While she's healthy, police are still desperately searching for the mother who left her there.
She's not in any trouble from police. Childbirth can be quite traumatic, and we're worried for her safety and well-being.
Around 10 babies are found abandoned in Australia each year.
A newborn baby has been discovered dumped at a Perth medical centre.
Final appeal to the mother of a baby boy found abandoned on a doorstep 3 months ago.
This latest case has renewed calls for safe haven baby boxes, a place where people can bring and leave infants anonymously, knowing they'll be found and cared for.
It's like when you would see in old movies a baby put in a box on someone's front doorstep. That's the idea of a baby box, a place that a child could be safely surrendered.
In Australia, parents can relinquish their children through social services, but they cannot surrender them anonymously.
What factors contribute to a parent wanting to remain anonymous is desperation. So they don't want to be caught pregnant for whatever reason.
So Australia is lagging behind. At least 20 other countries already have some version of baby boxes.
We watched a father then abandon his son.
When somebody opens the door to the baby box hatch, a bell to the tune of Für Elise rings.
In France, women can even secretly deliver their babies in hospital and leave them for adoption without having their own name recorded.
Whatever's happening, it is a desperate situation. So there should be no judgment of that mother, because that's not something anybody plans or anybody wants.
Allowing grace and care for parents and babies in the most difficult of circumstances.
We had a near miss here, thank God. And we don't know how many times this happens, and we don't know when it's going to happen again. So we need this law to change.
Senator Helen Polley has been campaigning for baby boxes since 2008 and she joins us now. Senator, we just saw in the package there that parents can already surrender their children through social services, so there is a process for that. Why then do you think baby boxes are necessary?
Because when women are in crisis, they won't go to a department. That's quite clearly the case. It's been demonstrated time and time again here in Australia. It's time to introduce baby safe havens in this country.
Senator, it's my understanding that some states have spoken about baby boxes previously, but at the moment it hasn't been passed by any government in Australia. Why not?
Well, the United Nations believe that the rights of children to know their parents is foremost in, I think, state governments' minds. My point is that if we can save one life, then that is worthwhile. And when a woman is in crisis, she obviously wants the best for her baby, and that's why I think having baby safe havens in this country will ensure that those children are safe and are going to go on and be well cared for.
Do you foresee this increasing the number of abandoned babies?
No, not at all. That's been an argument put to me over many years now. It's been proven in the US that it has not increased at all the amount of children that have been abandoned. And I don't expect it would be any different here. It's not in Canada or Japan or Germany or Italy. It all works very well.
Senator, I haven't been able to stop thinking about this poor mother who left her baby, wondering how she is. How do we help mums before they actually get to that point of desperation where they want to abandon their baby?
Well, of course, we'd love this mother to come forward because it's obvious she needs help. But we just need to continue to educate and to support young women and women when they are pregnant to give them the options and support that they need. That's very hit and miss at the moment. And we know that children's services are overrun. And so where we should be focusing is on education and support during that pregnancy.
You've spoken about how some governments might be tentative to do this because of the human right of the child to know the parent. Do you think if there were baby boxes, would there be scenarios where after a period of time, maybe when the crisis that the mother's facing has averted, they might actually be reunited and they might actually have, quite fulfilling long-term relationships?
Absolutely. Well, that's the model of care in Germany when I visited a hospital there. When you leave your baby, relinquish your baby, you take a footprint, there's a stamp pad there, and you can then go back at a later date and reunite with that child if that's in the interest of both you and that baby. Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen, but certainly that option should be there because we all know a baby flourishes better with a mum and a dad.
Does it
or
happen?
with parents.
Does it happen often?
Yes, it does. When I was in Munich, I spoke to a number of staff there, and they have had success with mothers within a 3-month period being able to come back and reunite with that baby.
Senator, why is this such an important issue for you?
Because I think if I read another story about a child that's been abandoned, that dies, then that just breaks my heart. And we've seen too many of those instances in this country. We should be doing everything we can to unite those parents with their baby. And if that's not possible, then that child has a right to grow up and experience life, learn to ride a bike, go to school and fulfil their lives. And that's not happening in all cases now. So there's no argument for not introducing baby safe havens anymore, because we don't know in this country how many other babies are abandoned that we never find.
Senator, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for your interest.